Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 7 of Mayoiga, titled When the Cats Are Gone, the Mice Will Play. I believe that's what the title for it is. Yeah, whatever that title has to do with this. So, honestly, I'm being honest with you guys and girls. Mayoiga is steadily declining into the worst thing I've seen this season, I'm being honest with you. You know, at first I had a lot of hope for Mayoiga because, again, I'm a huge fan of Another. I love horror mystery stuff. I dig that. I really do. And this show just continues to do things that I don't understand why it does it. So let's first off talk about what's been going on with this episode. So today we had it where we start off where our main characters Mitsumune and Mizaki are running away from the weird penguin creature. Now you then learn a little bit after, well, Mitsumune's kind of fall that he has about his background story, where he actually had a brother named Tokamune, and Tokamune unfortunately dies, and what that ends up causing the mother to do is to kind of progress into this thought process that Mitsumune is Tokamune. And you see over the course of the episode how crazy she gets, where it's like, oh, Tokamune, what's wrong? Why are you like... But meanwhile, that is Mitsumune, and it gets to the point that Mitsumune even starts wondering if he is Tokamune. It gets really bad. But, you know, after some tearful memories and tearful, like, kind of just reminiscing about that, him and Misaki seem to hook up a little bit. They start talking, and they actually end up running away and going through the tunnel, apparently, and trying to get away from everything. And she tells him that the tunnel actually leads back to their life, but the giant penguin creature comes back out, and while... you know, Misaki is actually not fazed by it. She actually walks right through it. Mitsumune goes and runs toward the giant penguin creature and slammed against the wall by it, so he cannot leave the place. He's forced to be stuck there. So it seems like most likely that is kind of causing them not to leave that tunnel. So maybe the tunnel is their kind of exit point, but right now it seems like whatever they fear will be right there waiting for them in the tunnel and not letting them leave. Now, meanwhile in town, things are going even worse, you know. Everyone's going crazy, and they're starting to think that Mizaki is really the cause of all this craziness. And ironically enough, you know, this is probably one of the more interesting parts where we start seeing the town's members start going a little bit batshit crazy and thinking that, yeah, okay, let's do something about Mizaki. You know, maybe we figure out what she's doing. We could stop the apparitions from showing up, because they do think that those things are linked together, the apparitions and the things. They did learn that their apparitions are based off their fears, but they think Mizaki is the one causing them. Now, I'm skipping ahead a little bit to show that Speedstar, who's Mitsumune's friend, you know, is actually becoming very creepy. We actually learned that he says in his, you know, he says it not to him, but he says it out loud, that, you know, Mitsumune can't survive without doing what he says. So that shows a surreal amount of kind of possession over him. You know, he says that he wants to save him, and I'm kind of skipping one scene, but you know, I'm playing around with what the scenes were, but he says he wants to save him one, but then he says he's, you know, he needs him to, you know, be around and be alive. That's kind of scary that he's going into this thought process. Now, eventually, they end up finding both Mitsumune, of course, they already did find him at that point, and they also find Mizaki, who they tie up to a, you know, cross and decide, let's go kill her. And actually do try to kill her, but when she starts bleeding, everyone stops. Mitsumune comes in to save the day. And lo and behold, she says that she knows the truth of what's going on, and she's like, I'm about to tell the truth, and then the episode ends. Yeah, which is not a, you know, crazy thing. Yeah, the episode ended right there. Honestly, guys and girls, you know, I plan on reviewing this whole thing all the way through. I'm not going to skip out. I'm not going to drop the series or anything like that. I'm in it. So I'm in it now for the long haul because it's episode 7, and I might as well stay with the rest of the series at this point. But this show is starting to digress into something that's almost comical. You know, I was watching this with my friends, both Memory and Professor, and since I mentioned them, I'm going to put their links to their channels in the description box below. But, you know, when I was watching this, we were cracking up at the stuff that was happening on screen. Nothing was horrifying. You know, probably the very beginning with Mitsumune and his mother and Tokamune, that was probably the creepiest and most messed up part, because actually that is a real psychological issue that can happen to people when they lose someone close, and it's happened before in real life scenarios where it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. But that was like probably the most scary thing that happened. Everything else was really ironically stupid. The show is borderline really dumb. I find all the characters kind of goofy, silly. I find the horror elements of the show really laughable. You know, I know people might get kind of pissed off at me saying this, but I think most people in the anime community are agreement with me actually on this, because this show is just really becoming a horrible show as time goes by. And I hate to say that because, you know, this show still is something made from the guy who made another, and I really hope it gets better, and I really want it to get better. But like I said, you know, you are the one who's going to be liking the show, so definitely don't take my word and say, oh, you know, I'm going to hate the show because of what I say. More so, be the one to watch the show. If you dislike it, hey, listen, some people, you might love this type of show. You might love the horror elements, and you might love the kind of goofy nature of it, and the creepy nature of it. Honestly, I'm just saying that I personally don't really care for it that much, but like I said, I'm going to stick with it. I'm in it for the long haul. Anyways, guys and girls, that's it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, please share the video, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye, everyone.